To look at the first round of the 2017 African Cup of Nations held in Gabon, we are joined in the studio by SABC Digital senior producer Sipho Kekana. Chloe, good morning and welcome to AM News.
Morning, Chloe.
It's been a very interesting one the past week, that is, of the 2017 Gabon African Cup of Nations, but it started quite slow with the 1-1 draws and the likes. Your impressions thus far?
Yeah, I think the way it started, it was expected. You know, the first round of matches, you have those teams wanting to actually acclimatize to the conditions and just settle in. So it was expected that with the second round of matches, the tempo would actually increase and everything. So far, well, there's been a couple of, especially in the second round of matches, there's been some very nice matches.
Now we're looking at this these visuals here. This is a game between Ghana, and they won by a slender lead, a penalty that was just committed not so long ago against Uganda, that is. The likes of Ghana, the so-called giants of African football, do you see them coming to the party in the first round?
This is a team that won the Under-20 World Cup in 2009 and went on to become perhaps the best team at the African team at the 2010 FIFA World Cup. They've reached the last AFCON finals against Cote d'Ivoire, losing out on penalties. But look, they've been playing good football over the years. I think they are still that team that plays the best football.
They've been playing best football, but they don't have results.
They don't score goals. That has always been their biggest shortcoming. They can't score goals. The likes of Azam Wajan, he's been there over the years as a striker. And if you look at his strike rate, it's actually not good enough. And that's why even in the first match, they won that match by a penalty. So I think even though they're playing good football, they need to sort that out. Otherwise, they're going to have problems going forward.
Let's talk about the defending champions. Of course, next weekend, it's a must-win against Morocco. Do you see them making it through?
Look, for Ivory Coast, and there's actually a story there. When you look at this tournament, since it started, there's been a lot of inconsistency, and that speaks to the drop in the level of the technical standards of in African football. That is why you have the defending champions like Ivory Coast, whose participation in the tournament is already threatened. You're not sure whether they're going to progress or not. You have Zambia, who won it in.
But now, let me just come in there, too.
As well.
Let me just come in there. You talk about the drop in the quality of play, in the technical know-how and the likes. But now, who's to be blamed? Because the majority of these players are playing their skills and football abroad. So now, who's responsible for that?
Yeah, remember, these players, although they may be playing abroad, what happens playing abroad is that they are exposed to a more intense level of competition and everything, but it does not actually expose or nourish their true African talent. That is why even those European players, when they come to Africa, they don't sign your skillful kind of players. They go for the physical players, and that in a way has kind of shaped the way that African football is playing right now. African players are playing
that the standard of play or the style of play abroad, it doesn't work for African players, mainly those who are skillful and the like.
It doesn't. And on one thing that you need to, Zambia, when they won AFCON a few years back, they were being coached by Kalusha Bwala, somebody who understands the culture of Zambian football. When Nigeria won it, they were coached by the late
Stephen Keshi.
And Ivory Coast, when they won it, they were coached by Hervé Renard. He spent years in Africa. He understands African football better, even though he's of European origin. So that tells you that the understanding of African football by coaches also plays a huge role in how well these African teams can actually perform in these African tournaments.
Let's look at this. This is, of course, earlier on we had the visuals between Tunisia and Egypt. Those are the big giants from the north of the continent. And for a number of years, actually the north of the continent was dominating when it comes to African football. But then it moved to the west of the continent, where we saw a whole lot of teams coming from there and doing well. The likes of Nigeria were dominating African football for quite a while. But things seems to be changing now again. It moved to more central part of the continent. Is there something that's happening that maybe other part of the regions are working on?
Zambia and perhaps the DRC, I think they've been doing something very right. And although Zambia failed to qualify for this tournament, I still think that there are certain things that they're doing right. And the DRC as well. If you look at the two games that they've played, you can see that they are moving in the right direction. And I think so far they are the dark horses. You should expect them to actually progress, if possible, to the finals, and perhaps the likes of Senegal as well.
Cool. My team for this tournament is Senegal, and I think they'll go all the way. But of course, we'll continue having those chairs going forward, and I'll let you know. Of course, that was SABC Digital senior producer Sipho Kekana, wrapping the week that was at the 2017 Gabon African Cup of Nations.